Hey everyone, um, it's Dadma and Dekedra, my wife. Uh, we are recording this video just to talk with you guys and to share with you some things that's been happening um, spiritually. I want to start off by, by talking to you, just giving you a background of what's been going on first before we tell you what happened today. Um, so a couple years ago, I had a dream. It was in 2012. I had a dream, and in that dream, um, there was a tsunami, a huge wall of water coming from east to west to north to south. And I heard a voice, and the voice said, "Prepare for the coming of the groom. Prepare for the coming of the groom." And it said this 3 times, and it said people's going to be running and trying to hide, but there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Prepare for the coming of the groom. And since then, I knew what my God-given purpose was, and that was to spread the word and spread the gospel, and that's exactly what I've been doing since. And recently, I've been having dreams again. And since that dream about the tsunami and the wave, a wall of water coming and surrounding us in Florida, I never had that kind of dream since. And recently, for about a month now, I had 3 dreams within that month, and each of those dreams, they had to do with a flood. And every dream, there was a flood coming, and there was people running, people trying to hide, and there was a flood that came. And then the third dream was a quite different one. It was with a black swirling wind that was crushing everything in sight, a whole city. And then that turned into a huge wall of water, and it just came, and everything was engulfed by this water. And I talked to my wife about it, and we've been praying about it, trying to figure out why why is this dream is keep coming up of where there's a flood, there's a rain, and there's a flood. And I was thinking, okay, maybe the flood could represent what's going on with this coronavirus, and maybe it's a symbolic thing that's happening, and God is just showing it. And I just kept asking myself, like, why would God give me a dream of what's to come about something that is already here? And so, we've been praying about it, asking God for clarity, because we don't want to, stand and just assume what something probably mean, or try to interpret something, and that's something I don't ever want to do. We never want to do. And so we've been asking God to just give us clarity and understanding about what these dream means. And then last night, or this morning, my wife told me that she had a dream. And this dream it's an answer to what we've been praying about, of trying to understand what's going to happen, and what is these dreams are all about. So I'm gonna let my wife tell you about her dream, because this is a message that was shared to give, to let people know. So go ahead, babe.
So this isn't the first dream that I've had about a flood, either. But this is the second that I can remember word for word. The first was just one day I woke up, and we were in our house, and I looked at the window, and I literally saw our house submerged in water. And there was just this much of space that I see out of our window that there was no water. Compared to a whole window, there was this much space where it was no water. And I began to panic, and I didn't wake my husband up. I ran to all of my kids' rooms and I told them, stay away from the windows, do not open the windows. But in the midst of me panicking, a voice said to me, go to the back window. And the way our house is set up, our back window is our kitchen window. And as I get to the back window, this voice told me, open this window and declare that I am your God 3 times, loud as you can. And there was no water at this back window. As I pulled the window down and I stuck my head out the window and I declared, God is my Father, you are my Father, you are my Father 3 times. I came out of the window, closed the window, and I looked at all of the other windows within our home, and the water was decreasing, just decreasing. And it was like within that dream, I could also see myself hovering over Florida, literally like a map of Florida. But there was a diamond shape within that map. The rest of Florida was covered in water except that one little piece. And I know that one little piece was where we were. That was the very first dream that I had this month about a flood in Florida. Last night, it was crazy. It was, the dream started at a plaza with me and my parents in a store. And we were buying roses. I had a rose already in my pocket that we had recently purchased from Publix. And they were trying to charge us for this rose that was already in my pocket. So I ended up having to go back to our van and searching for this certain receipt from Publix to prove that we already bought this one rose from Publix. We just couldn't find any more, and we needed 2 more roses. Mind you, I don't know what this number 3 is representing in either one of my dreams, but as I speak to you now, I know that this number 3 represents something. So as I'm searching in the van for this receipt, a young man came up to me and was just asking me questions. What am I looking for? And just why am I looking for it and everything. And then he offered to help look for it. And so as we're looking in this van for this receipt that I cannot find, I see a bunch of cops just rushing into the plaza. And as I look back, I see that the store is being shut down. Like everyone's locked in. And I try to get in because my parents are still inside. And I asked one of the officers what was going on. And he said, oh, there's a guy in there with a gun. Fast forward, I tried to get inside of the store. My mind frame was to save my parents. And then it started to get really dark, just really dark all around. And the gentleman that was helping me look for the receipt, he had a woman with him. So I told him to get in the car because I tried to drive around the store to get inside, but I couldn't. And so it got even darker, really, really dark. And another young man came around the car from, I don't know from where, but he came around the car and he knocked on the door and he was like, Nick, I need you to come out really quick. I need you to come out. I got to talk to you. This is important. So as I get out of the car and I follow him to a grassy area, and he's showing this huge lake all the way. I don't know how far the lake stretched, but it stretched pretty far. And I can remember before he showed me this lake, when I tried to go around the building, the lake was at a minimum of water. And it had rained, but the rain had stopped before the man came. The young man came and knocked on the door. And the rain had stopped. So when I get out and he shows me this river again, this river is almost overflowed. And it was probably like this much more, and the water was just going to start coming onto land. And his exact words were, God said he is going to flood this area. And he gave me sizing as if I were standing up. I'm going to say, this is how far the water is going to be. But we are going to be up here, so we will not be affected by this water. And God wants you to tell people that there is going to be a flood. And we need to start praying. And the only message that I can give from it is we really need to start praying, because we don't know when it's going to happen. We don't know if this is a symbolic meaning. We don't know if it's actually going to be a flood in Florida. But all I am saying is to everyone is to prepare yourselves, because I know the last time God came to me in a dream, God brought a message to me in a dream. That message came true. 2 years later, that message came true. So I don't play with his messages. And I just pray that this reaches each and every one of you in good spirit, with an open mind to understand, with an open heart, and just begin to prepare yourselves for whatever is to come. And trust and have faith in God. And if you truly have faith in God, know that he is going to protect his people. And for those who don't know who he is, I advise you all to take time out to find out who he is, who our Savior is, because this is no joke. This is no joke. And I have many loved ones and friends, and those that may not consider me as a friend. But I love you all unconditionally. And I pray again that this message reach each and every one of you, and that you guys take heart, take heed, and begin to pray and even fast on it. Because again, we don't know when this is going to happen or what is going to happen. Just prepare yourselves.
Right. And
keep your faith in God, because there is no other way. And it could be 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 years from now. Prepare yourselves, because at the end of the day, we don't know. Only God knows. And the only thing that he knows that we need to be doing is to be ready.
Right.
So pray, fast, spread the word, and just be alert, because this is something serious.
That's right. And so that's the message. And we just want you to receive this message, because this was told for us to tell. And again, that's exactly what we're going to do. How you receive it, how you take it, that's on you. But I know we're just going to pray, and we ask you all to pray in the midst of whatever's to come, and know that all is going to be well, because he's going to be with us in the midst of it. So don't let this message scare you. But let this message speak to your heart. Let God speak to your heart through this message. All right. So we just say thank you for listening, and God bless you. We love you all, and you continue to have a blessed day.